Hello and welcome back to Celestial Satsang. I'm Katya, and in today's video, episode 6 of season 1, we have a very special guest. We have Meenakshi Srivastra, and she is the founder and director of ArshaJyotish.com. So, welcome, Meenakshi. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Katya, for being here, and thank you for welcoming me on your channel. So it's a great pleasure being here.
Yes, wonderful to have you. So we have a conference coming up. It is two weekends, the 15th and 16th, and then the 22nd and 23rd of March 2025. Real life case stories is the theme. But I wanted to introduce you to, the people that have been following me for a while, who may not know much about you or Arsha Jyotish. So, briefly, tell us about your background. What brought you to the United States? Where in India are you from? And, what have you been doing up until, you became a Jyotishi?
Thank you, Katya. So for me, my background is a very professional background, I will say. I come from a background of like if I go back to India, I am born in Bihar, India, which is not a very, I will say, well flourished state. Then I moved and did my studies in Delhi, which is a capital of India. Did my studies till master's in economics, and then I was professionally working as data analytics, so-called, and AI right now is the field which I am a specialist into from last 18 years. And I have been working in this area. Then I moved, for me, moving to USA was for my job. I was very passionate in doing whatever profession I picked up. So within that, started my career with the GE Capital, moved to Deloitte Consulting, and Deloitte Consulting, which was a US firm, moved me to US. And that was the same time when I got married and was in US. Uh, jo- Being an Vedic astrologer, I will not say was ever in my card. I was non-believer of astrology. Uh, while I will say when there is a destiny, the ways comes in your way. Suddenly, I was really ambitiously working in my field, doing very well, making my big strategies. One day, I met an accident. And when I met an accident, I found later on, it was a big turning point in my life. And I got into meditation. I started having some visualization from there on. And what I found is what I am doing is not quite right for me. There are much more to there. So though I did not left my normal professional job, but my inclination towards a different world was really full. So in between, my husband Saurav Srivastava, who is also a Vedic astrologer, he started studying his Vedic astrology with Penny Farrow. And I saw him study very deeply. And then I asked him, why are you studying so much? It's not a great subject. I don't know much about it. Then he said, give it a try. It's pretty good. You seems to be really liking to help people. Why don't try? That's where my journey started. I went to a session of Penifro, one of the best session ever. Got to know what Vedic astrology is all about. And then I got so passionate that within 6 to 7 years, there was a non-stop study of the Jyotish has attracted me, from like reading my sastras to getting a tutoring from all over the place. Then it so happened that I also started having a conversation in Ashravidya Gurukulam, started helping Jyotish Mela over there. And in between that, Arsha Jyotish has already originated, and we had our own organization to start supporting. And then when from the last few years, I have been teaching Vedic astrology and passing it to the student. One of the, I will say, most satisfying journey in my life, and I could see that making a difference in people's life is something which I was very passionate years back, while I was on a path which was not coming in this. I was always been a mentor and consultant for people, but currently my knowledge has enhanced further to be able to help others. So that is one of my passion to be able to, which has brought me to the Vedic astrology.
Sorry. So what year was it when you first started studying Jyotish?
It was 2011, 12.
Okay. Yeah, that's
It's been
actually the
15
year
years.
I first started too. That's funny.
Okay.
But I'd started with Western astrology, really young, and then switched to Jyotish in 2012. And you're in Pennsylvania, right?
Yes, I am located in Pennsylvania,
Oh,
south of Philadelphia airport, like we'll say 20 minutes from there.
oh, perfect. Okay. And so you founded Arsha Jyotish, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
And you have a
So
center there. Yeah?
yes, we have a center here, and it's we are lot into, I will say, online. I will be if you are not mind, I will share this screen to take you where we are. So this is the Arsha Jyotish organization I am talking about. So when it comes to us, we are we believe more into, it's a non-profit organization which is formed with the idea of the Vedic astrology is lot about rishis and the sastras. So it's a lot of sastra based teaching which we try to do from our side. We accordingly from the multiple Vedic astrologer we call on our platform, and we invite them to be able to speak. So primarily our orientation and the objective is towards consultation, mentoring, especially the spiritual guidance. We have seen a pattern of people who come in this area are also like to be in a spiritual guidance, provide a spiritual guidance to people. And also I would like to get it more towards a counseling. So when you face troubles in your life, you do want somebody to tell you, how to navigate it.
Mm.
So having a knowledge of Vedic astrology, I will say, with Vedic astrology, also there are other Vedic sciences also helps you, like, even knowing Ayurveda techniques, knowing yoga, to some extent Vastu, it helps a person holistically to be able to, find something else which is helping for you. So that's, I will say, is the motive of Arsh Jyotish, to bring all the knowledge together, which is more of rishis, which we have given it to us.
Wonderful. So how many astrologers do you have at the center?
We have multiple astrologers. We have around, I will say, it goes up. And when it comes to the resident faculty, it is me and my husband. So Saurav Srivastava and Meenakshi Srivastava is the main resident faculty. We do have few more visiting faculties, which you will find the names in our conferences. It's called Krista, it's called Sue Ann. So I can walk you through as we are talking about the conference. So we have around 7 to 8 more visiting faculties which are regularly teaching with us. When it comes to the conference, we have numerous Vedic astrologers which has been teaching with us. So all the big names to the new people. So, and one of the unique point of Arsha Jyotish is we do like to promote new Vedic astrologers coming in our way and give them a platform to be able to speak, and they can always ask us like, what they would like to present. So, I mean, I do receive a lot of new books has been written by Vedic astrologer, and would love to promote them because, all the lovers of Vedic astrology should be together to be able to help.
Yes, that's wonderful. And this year you're giving me a chance to speak, and I really appreciate it. So let's talk a little bit about philosophy because, I know
Mm-hmm.
you come from India and you have a Hindu background, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Did your family, I know Jyotish is, widely known across India, but not everybody really practices it or really talks about it, right? So did your family incorporate this philosophy when you were growing up?
Actually not. It's very interesting that way, that getting exposed to being in India and the knowledge of I will say Jyotishi or a Jyotish or a Vedic astrology. It's actually utilized when you are getting married and things are not that right. You are using as a matching happens, and it's like just one of the usual process which you follow. Uh, while I will say, so it's like reforming to people who Vedic astrologers are, what this knowledge can bring you. It came lot, I will say, when I really started studying, then I could understand, then I can go back and understand where we were lacking. But no, not in our background of Vedic astrology. There is no lineage of me, I will say, coming from the ancestors to get to this knowledge. Other than, I will say, the spiritual fact of mine, I could see and visualize things from, I will say, not from the childhood, from the middle of my age, where I always could see that something else is calling me.
Mm-hmm.
So I had some powers of seeing, I will say, souls which are already departed. So I had couple of experience of where my uh, family and the friends, when they are not there, and I'm able to see and talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
So there are some psychic powers which has kind of attracted, and I used to see that I'm little abnormal than normal people, is how I've seen. But no, the knowledge of Vedic astrology was not there anywhere, I will say, not in a positive manner. I will say it was lot into, oh, there is something, you should look into, and, somebody has predicted, things did not work out. That way it was always there, but not in an affirmative way for people that, yes, it helps you. There is a counseling happens, nothing of that sort.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's, I've noticed people that are in very traditional fields, right? Finance, science, academia. A lot of times, they don't even want to listen to the
Yeah.
possibility that this would be true. And, I studied philosophy, and, this is what we call materialism, where if it's
Yes.
very black and white, right? If they can't see it with their eyes, then it's not real. So you bridging that was your experiences and going, hey, wait a second, um, this is not adding up with what I knew before, so I need to change how I see reality.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what is one of my, I will say, a mission towards, especially when I am sitting and, standing with my friends and families who doesn't know what Vedic astrology is all
Mhm.
about. So I would like to like just add an experience over here. Very recently been to India, and I was talking to one of the CEO of like a big private firm, as you said, science person. They do not science and technology, they don't even talk about it. I was speaking to the person, and I said few lines about that person, and then he said, how do you know about me? I said, I can speak more if we look into the horoscope. When you
Mhm.
open the horoscope, then he's like, for 20 minutes he has a silence when I was speaking about him. So then we had a proper consultation after that. He said कि for the first time ever, I heard about things about myself which I have never heard from anyone. And I know who I am. So it's, just cannot believe you what's going on over here. And you have given me a mission of my life in this 20 minute. And I would like to know more about it, what you have studied. So I said, okay, fine, let's have a conversation. We had a further conversation on this one. And it's like a kind of testing how much we can speak. So we looked into Dasha by Dasha, looking into Mahadasha and the Bhukti. And then that guy being and very logical, going 3 month, 3 month, 3 month. Tell me how will be this, how will be that. It was interesting. But at end of the session, that guy is like, tell me, first, God bless you. Second, tell me, how can I learn this knowledge? And how can people will be get. So currently he is one of the most devotee, I will say. And he just sees me more as a counselor, less as I will say a Vedic astrologer, because it helped many more people with whom he is working on this knowledge. And he said ki how the this knowledge can be utilized as a as a Vedic counseling to them. So it's very eye opening, and it again belongs to the same, I will say, the Indian folks, but it needs to be, I will say, re-imaged to people. Not in terms of, I will say, making a lot of predictions about them. It's more about how can I help you? Okay. When you open an horoscope of somebody, you get to see that who they actually are, with whom they have a, like, highly devoted karmas, with whom they have some kind of, or like I will say, a tug of war among them. How can you make it things better? Not only about just going and doing those small remedies, but first understand where your areas where you have a lot of bondage. So once you understand that, you are a captain of your own ship. You can. So you can move things you want. So that's what I believe in. I believe that the karmas are there with you. So transferring this knowledge, which is beyond you be able to understand. The one person can understand just on a high level, but when we open a horoscope, we can see, like I say, that past, present, and the future is visible in front of us. So it doesn't mean we appreciate ourselves how good astrologer we are when we are predicting our future, but we should be just talking what we think will be helping this person, bringing a light on this person's life. And with that right intention, things just flow for the person, and they find their own path very well. So I do believe in the remedies, but those remedies are more into the chanting, doing some of the devotion, I will say, mm, donation, the time donation towards others is how I believe more. And also living in the community, love, like, feeding birds, feeding things which is going to help you. So, seeing holistically your life is pretty well, as compared to, I will say, just do this and then that's going to give you a lot of money tomorrow, is how I will say. It's not what Vedic astrology should be all about.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, predictions are fun, right? Because it's kind of a game and it's interesting to
Exactly.
see, after the fact, reverse engineering things to see like what
Yes.
happened. But, I've found like you that, you really got to meet the person where they are on that day. And what I
Yes.
found after this past year, I went back and I added up all the readings I did last year, and I did almost 350 readings. And
Wow.
there is a pattern. People know it's like there's a bell that goes off, and they know that it's time to go get their reading. And there'll be a pattern where in one day I'll have three or four charts of people that are very similar. you know, or
Yes.
let's say we have a full moon in Leo. Well, here comes all the Leos to get a reading, right? We have our eclipses, well, our
Yes.
solar eclipse coming up in Pisces. Especially people with moon in Pisces because they're in Sati Sati. Here they all come, right? For the eclipse. So it's like people know when it's time to come in and find out some higher information. Um, so, how would you describe, how would you describe your philosophy, your approach within this framework?
Yeah, I think I will say when there is a need, especially when you have passed through a lot. So I can give examples from when the Saturn and the Mars was together in the March and the February in the April of like 2024. We got a lot of reading at that time, and I could see the combination there, and I could see how, especially when they are together or affecting uh houses, which is really getting impact. I saw one of the chart where Saturn was the lord of sixth and seventh and eighth, Marika lord as well as eighth lord, sitting into second. So when this was the combination for that guy, and I said, no wonder during that time that person has got into coma. And it's like, and the Mars was also sitting in his first house, affecting
Mhm,
the seventh house from there. It
mhm,
was like, and I think Saturn, so it's given that I thought like, oh my God. So these are the times I will say needs to be watched out, and needs to be understood of how things is happening. So no doubt it is there. And I would also talk about when it comes to predictions, undoubtedly that does give you I will say that does give clients a confidence that yes, I know. So sometime I have done predictions for people where things are going to come in their way. I let them know that yes, this is the wrong time which is coming, and this is going to impact you. Okay, be prepared when it would. So just for the preparation purpose, we have given and talked about the predictions in their life, and that has made them more devotee towards us. So I will say it should be given as it is needed. For all the knowledge which is more of futuristic should be given to help the person.
mhm,
So,
mhm, mhm,
however you can help it is how you should be going there. It should not be done for the praise of an Vedic astrologer. I am one of the best one, is what I will say, because that is where we are decreasing our own spiritual powers.
mhm,
The ego is increasing more than the philosophy of the yoga we are talking about here.
mhm,
So yes, I will say definitely. There are a lot of combination. I would like to add one more experience. Remembering, I have been analyzing a chart of Hitler into the teachings, and suddenly one day a girl came and she said, "I would like to show my brothers a horoscope." I looked into that and I was like, "Oh my God!" It was very similar chart. I will say not exactly, but a very similar chart to the Hitler.
wow.
I said, please don't visit him at this point of time. And some of the times we have seen it's a very, not right state. And then we talked about all of it, and we saw the problems which has been faced over there, and a lot of similarities are there, like facing your own issues, some of the, and that guy was doing pretty good in his own life, but own life, I mean the professional life was pretty good, but facing a lot of challenges in his own personal and the family life, and that was not an easy one to be able to talk about to people. So I mean to say, when we talk about a Vedic astrology, how these patterns match and leads towards a life which we should be really watchful of. And it actually, I will say, the girl got saved, and she said like, oh, thank God, because I was not knowing about it. And then she talked all about it, how the person is very, I will say, depressed, or getting into the state, and the family is not doing good because of that. So we do not need when you have things in front of you, you understand. Okay. Things should be there to help, to be communicated, to be able to, and I have seen that dedication among those people.
Mhm.
And sometime I see we are in that whole job of counseling, because I have many folks passing through, their families passing through cancer. Somebody have lost their child because of the depression. Somebody finding through disabilities, and they are dedicated to ourselves. So I mean to say, negative in their life attracts towards them becoming more dedicated to something which will help them move in a certain direction. And what's going on is not the right path for them, and either in terms of knowledge studying, and then
Mhm.
also when I look into the horoscope of all the students who are coming into the classes, they are also very different from, I will say, the normal folks. They do have a dedication towards knowing their spirituality, digging into and research and the case study, and then they study together. So I really say, like, thank you everybody for being a part of, like, the groups who believe in this knowledge. And if you have questions towards that, why this is good or not good, people should just have discussions, ask questions about it, instead of getting into old shell. What I will remember talking to Dr. K.S. Charak and reading a book where he has said that the people who talks about Vedic astrology, they do not know Vedic astrology. So when you are discussing this, you should be knowing and having a knowledge about that when you are discussing about that particular knowledge. So
Yeah.
it's like, get to know more. If it helps, great. Yep.
Yeah, it shocks me how many people have opinions about what we do, yet they've never studied it. So,
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, I mean,
So
until you have some experience, it doesn't really matter. Um, yeah, so how do you see, especially, this upcoming eclipse we have with 6 planets in Pisces? How do you see this shift happening, with the collective?
I will say, when the couple of planets get together, especially in this kind of, I will say, environment which is negative, generally speaking, it's not good. So because they are tense together, they are very close to each other, malefics gets together, so it's very intense situation. And how it plays in the people's life, of course it's very individualistic to look into the horoscope, but I will say, generally speaking, not good.
Yeah, well, it's going to be intense. And I
Yes.
went back and did some research for a presentation, and the last time that we had this many planets in Pisces for a solar eclipse was 1839. And here in the
Wow.
United States, that was before the Civil War. So we still had slavery then, right? There was
Right.
no electricity yet. Yet what happened 20 years later, 25 years later, we had the beginning of the Civil War. So I feel like we're kind of in that buildup,
Yeah.
where like in the next 20, 25 years, there's going to be a massive change. Um, and also in 1839, because, for this solar eclipse, we have a Parivartana Yoga between Jupiter in Taurus and Venus retrograde in Pisces. 1839,
Yeah.
there was a Parivartana between Jupiter in Virgo and Mercury in Pisces. And so I feel like, If you go back and look at some of the events during that time, it's like we're kind of in that window where things in the next 20 years are going to be very, very different.
It is.
Uh,
I think already, if you look into news, look into the events, how things are changing into, so it's not, and I will say, there are a lot of uncertainties, I will say. It's there. How countries are even, interacting with each other. Also there is a fear and the security issues are there. Then there are, like, in all the areas, I will say, even in the area of, I will bringing to the investment and the finance, the stock, the US market, how it is going up and down, how the new players are coming, and a lot of, I will say, swing we are seeing even in the sentiments of the people. So all of this are not a good, I will say, stability is visible in the market.
mhm,
So no doubt things will become more intense, more tension will be created, and that's exactly what we see even when it comes to the transits coming together, where a couple of planets are together. They does create towards issues which is difficult, especially when these Saturn and the Mars, which are the big players of the malefics, and getting caught into Rahu Ketu, which that's what the eclipse is, makes them very active and very powerful
mhm,
during that time.
mhm,
Yes.
mhm. So, having a background in finance, which is about studying patterns, right? I mean, to me, it seems like a natural fit that you would study Jyotish
Yes.
because it's about studying patterns too. Um, how do you feel about financial astrology? Is that something that you participate in? I know a lot of people in our community, use Jyotish to understand crypto and the stock market. Is that something that you get into?
Yes, I do. I will also say I am a day trader and investment banker by background too, and I still continue with that passion. Uh, uh, so I do see the ability of a Vedic astrologer to be able to connect and see the pattern, and even your intuitive sense, which is a very important component when you are doing the shares, even going into the digital products, like digital stuff like in the crypto bitcoins, is a very important thing. I will say it goes at a two, three levels, not just one. One level is, do you have an ability in your horoscope to be able to have that strength of, when you are in a share market, you are bidding. Okay, you are not, you should have an stamina to be able to see ups and down of the market. So you have to go at an individual level first, instead of, because we have been seeing in our world of finances, people follow the strategies of big people. They do not know will that suit them or not. So first, at an individual level, are you at that level? Is your, I will say, the fifth house, which is about intuition, about you winning, about the ability of your mind, is, does it has a support from there or not, is the first thing which people should be looking into. Second is your way of recognizing pattern, and third, I will say, definitely your intuition towards making things happen. So if it is there or not. So all of this combination is very important for you to get started, which is at an individual level. But when it comes to knowing the whole pattern of finance and trade, I will say it's good to know things, and it does help you and guide you. I will not say that you winning or losing is only because of the Vedic astrology, but it does give you a very good guidance
Mm,
in how to move forward, see the pattern, understand how in which direction you are moving.
mhm,
So I will say undoubtedly it keeps me, like, first I'm very peaceful, doesn't matter up and down, and then I could see the pattern much more than
mhm,
what usually people can make
mhm,
in the market.
mhm. I have an observation. It From what I've seen, It is best to have somebody as a counselor like yourself to help, because it seems like people with addictive personalities especially get into cryptocurrency. And it's very easy because, it's very Rahu Ketu kind of stuff, um, to not see correctly. And if you have an addictive personality, you're gonna just it's like gambling, right? And so I think if you are going to get involved in any kind of financial astrology, you should have a mentor. You should have somebody who knows their stuff and can give you advice. Because if you try to do it yourself, you might get yourself caught in like a house of mirrors.
Absolutely agree. Especially when you get into this, um, there are a lot of, as you said, the addiction point. So if even the horoscope supports people who have an addiction towards this, they should absolutely avoid it. And when it comes to the level of these cryptocurrencies, uh, I also come from the whole banking and the financial background. Uh, it's not easy one for one person to handle because of this digital, like, that how the transactions happens in that area. There are a lot of scams because it's a quick money gone from your account. So first it should be regulated, which is more of a political matter, as compared to when you are individually getting into this one. You should be doing a counseling. You should be knowing, what you are doing. uh, Financial, I will say, for the financial advisor, which are traditionally from the bank or investment banks, they do not know about it. Okay, so knowing about this is very important, and to be able to take the step. Knowing Sanskrit is not essential to know Vedic astrology. If you know, it is going to help you for sure, further help you. While to know Vedic astrology, you just start with knowing more about the way you start your restaurant. You know more about these planets, all the rashis, understanding more about what those houses are all about, deeper meaning of those houses, knowing and following some of the Parashar principles. We go to the Parashar itself, so you follow those. And the another component which is very different from the Western astrology is the nakshatras. So nakshatras as well add a very important component in a Vedic astrology. I will say it's not, I will say, too different from the Western. So whichever you are studying, spend some time and more about regularly studying that, not becoming overwhelmed, but regularly studying one pattern for a while till you really understand, and learning from, I will say, somebody whose knowledge is getting in your head, put it this way, like, understanding the language, the oral communication from that person is very important for you. So it should not be that I still do not know the basics and I am jumping on to be able to just like, oh no, I will learn it later and let me learn all different techniques. You will never make any sense out of those techniques if you do not know the basic component and the basic principles. And basics teaching, it should be dedicated a much longer time as compared to knowing the techniques, because techniques becomes a very easy thing to learn once you have a good foundation. At least I will say 1 year of foundation is very important for students to quickly learn through, with both reading through the books, reading through and learning from somebody who is orally teaching you, and you are unable to follow through. I will say this more of, we say Guru Shish Parampara, more into a teacher is teaching you that subject, and you can go back to the teacher and clarify your points. So with that, that's what the Vedic astrology really looks into, and which is more of a sastra based, and that has been actually recommended during the books also. In the books also it's written that I am giving you the knowledge, but go and find a guru who will help you out in this. So, just rephrasing, Sanskrit is kind of like not the mandatory part, while foundation of this knowledge
Mm.
and your deep interest into that subject is much more important for you to have a grasp of the subject. So 1 year dedication should be good enough for you to take
Yeah.
this knowledge forward.
Yeah, and there, there's some memorization of the
Yeah,
terminology. Um,
of course.
and, that just comes along with it. And I would say for anybody that is a Western astrologer and wants to learn Vedic, just because we use the same planets and the same houses doesn't mean
Yeah.
that they mean the same thing in Vedic astrology. So it's like you kind of have to unlearn some things and open your mind, that these things can mean something different as well.
Yeah.
Um, and, for me, I mean, it took like a good 5 years of being comfortable with the terminology before I could take a course. So you have to be patient with yourself. I think that's
Yes.
something where, it's just repetition. Listen to as
Yeah.
many classes as you can. There's so many videos that Meenakshi
Yes.
has on the Arsha Jyotish website, and I will put the link down below in the description so you guys can head on over there. But yeah, it just takes time and repetition. And you can't just, snack on information. You have to actually prepare a meal, and
Exactly.
learn something that way. And there's, not just workshops on Jyotish, but she has actual foundational courses that can help you if you really want to learn.
Yes, we do have. We have a whole 3 years program for people to learn, but we have the thing which we have made sure is to be able to learn this whole course, you need to be regularly learning. At the same time, sometimes people study and they lag behind because of some reasons, either they have traveled something. So we do want to make sure we do have private tutoring included, some of the review session included as a part of the whole foundation course, and even the repetition we keep it just complimentary for people to come in and repeat as many time as you have learned that subject, so that it becomes a part of you. So big, just dedicated towards distributing this knowledge to as many people as they like to learn this. And you can always do some part, and if you could not continue, you can come again next year when the session is coming, come and repeat once again and just leave where it is, and then start from there. So we also follow that pattern.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. So much information on her website, you guys. So head on over to arshajyotish.com and you can register for the conference over there. And, until then, is there anything else that you want to say, Meenakshi?
No, I think this is very nice. Thank you. Thank you for just bringing me over here and connecting. And I will be very happy to connect with people who would like to know more about Arsa Jyotish. And we really welcome people for our the conference, which is coming on 15th, 16th, and 22 and 23rd. And this is more about the case study and the research topics, and coming from the people of, like I will say, the Brendan Philly, Ellen Anand, and multiple more, even Dr. Arjun Pai, and some of us, me, you, Saurav Srivastava, and all of us will be there to be able to give our best presentation to people to be able to know the specific topic and the research which we have done in our own direction. So we really are very excited to see and invite everybody to come for the conference, or just in general see Arsha Jyotish. We on a regular basis we keep innovating things over here, and we also ask people to be our members. With being our members, it helps them to have explore a lot of webinars which is just complimentary for all the members. So that's the best way to be able to really utilize those webinars, which you will not be able to, I'm guarantee you will not be able to finish the whole webinars in the whole year. So just with one membership, how much you can get for the whole year. So you can just take it forward from there. Or in general, also if you look through, there are on our Jyotish, there are a lot of knowledge. We do have our YouTube channel, and we also have our Instagram and the Facebook, where our events are also always published. So I would really say thank you for asking me, for being here. And I hope I could answer some of the question, and really say hi to the people who love this knowledge.
Yes, thank you so much for all that you do for our community and to help further, spread this light into the world. So until next time, thank you so much, Meenakshi ji. And
Thank
we
you.
thank you. And we will see you at the conference. So till later. Thanks, you guys. Bye.
Thank you.